Hey, what up? It's your boy Addy back with a fresh cut to go along with a fresh new episode of Game Changers. Welcome back. Back here with my boy Yaron, as you guys know. So real excited to have him back on Game Changers. And today we got a real special topic for you guys, as always. Only special topics. Um, it's my favorite games of 2020 so far. But I feel like it's that time of year, kind of like the middle sector as summer is kind of more of a slow time in gaming, and all the big heavy hitters are coming out later this year. I decided what better time to take a look back at this year and see what I've been playing, what my favorite games were, and hear what Yarn has to say about them, right?
Yeah, got lots of great things to say about these games. Looks like a great lineup, by the way, Addy. I have to say, man, you put a great list together of some awesome new games for 2020. Can't wait personally. I mean, you know me, I'm a comics guy, but I'm a damn good gaming guy as well, man. I love the stuff that's coming out. So I mean, it's I'm excited, and it looks like a great year for video games. Great lineup for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Excited. As was always, let's just jump right into it. This year was, a bit of a crazy year in general, not only for gaming, but in the world in general with a global pandemic going on and stuff like
Yeah.
that, that really put a hamper not only on the gaming industry, but every industry, right? So with that came a lot of timeline struggles of, pushing things back, having to change timelines and stuff. But nonetheless, we still got some amazing, great games. And this is a pretty diverse list, if I don't say so myself. I was pretty shocked with some of the picks that I had, and some things that if you had asked me, last year they would be on my list for next year, I would have been like, "What? What are you talking about?" But anyways, let's get right into it. The first game up on my list is Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. Now, I was surprised at how much I really enjoyed this game and how much I really got into it. The first, for those of you who don't know, this is an RTS game. So it's a real time strategy, which is a break from the usual sort of games I play. It's not a hack and slash or a shooter or anything like that. It looks like this. So it's a top down game where you have a view of your map and you're in command of a bunch of troops. You're building buildings, harvesting wood and stone and food. And there's a lot of working aspects to it as well, hence the name real time strategy. Everything's going on at once. So you got to be on your toes. And I've never really played a game like this too much before. So, and I had the itch to kind of like discover that genre after I played Fire Emblem, which is a good turn-based strategy game. So that was kind of like my gateway drug into like the strategy game world. And Age of Empires 2 is a classic, as I'm sure a lot of you PC heads know. This game first came out in '99, so this is a remaster of the old one with a whole bunch of new content and stuff like that. It came out earlier this year, like January, February, and for when the game originally came out back in '99, it sold millions of copies, was highly regarded as one of the greatest RTSs among the ranks of in today's day and age, like Command and Conquer and StarCraft and stuff like
Yeah,
that. I
I
would
was
say
gonna
this
say
is
it reminds me of Command and Conquer, Red Alert, that whole gaming series. And I mean, I remember Age of Empires back in the day. Great game. It definitely is. I mean, especially for people who love that strategic. If I'm a guy who plays chess, like not a lot of
there
people
you
play
go.
chess, but it still feels like a chess game, right? Like it feels like a chess match. It's all about rethinking and how to maneuver and outmaneuver someone else. So I mean, I think it's a great game for sure. And I mean, love the top view. It's definitely gonna be a fun game for people this year, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. A lot of great things going for this game. It's a bit of a history lesson as well, to be honest. Like I'm a bit of a history nerd. I'm not like a too much of like a history buff. Like it's not I'm not a whiz or anything, but I'm really interested in like ancient civilizations and world history and stuff like that. And this game is a really good opportunity to marry the two of gaming and uh, learning stuff, and because you get to play through like some real life battles. For example, some of the campaigns they have, you get to play through the Viking invasion of England, the Battle of Hastings, so stuff like that, where they're taking examples from world history and putting it into the game, which is really cool. There's over 35 civs, which means civilizations for you to choose from, because the way the game works is you choose a civilization, and either you're in a campaign trying to perform a specific objective, whether it's to build this building or go rescue this person, or playing an online match where you're trying to, there's multiple win strategies as well. So you're either trying to overwhelm them and destroy their base, or you can win by, I think, building this like giant monument or something like that. Um, I've honestly just scratched the surface on the amount of things that you can do in this game. Super in depth, super strategic. There's like every game is pretty much a blank canvas, and you have to adapt as you go. Different civs have different abilities, which is another factor. So, like for example, the Aztecs start with an extra carry weight. The Vikings have more health. The Persians start with more food and wood. So there's really you can tune it to your style of gameplay based off of what civ you choose. And I think it's a really interesting game, and if you haven't played a game like it, it's free on Xbox Game Pass for PC, which is how I got to play it. I got to play it for free. So if you don't have Game Pass for PC, highly recommend the service. This game is free on there with a bunch of other great ones.
Nice, nice. And I mean, is it available on like all consoles, or is it available on Steam?
It's only on PC right now. Yeah, they haven't translated it to Xbox One or PS4 or anything. So you could get it through Steam. You can get it. Yeah, I believe you can get it through Steam, through Microsoft, and I think straight from their the Age of Empires like site as well. You can download it.
Awesome, awesome. And so,
Yeah, yeah.
and I know you said there's another lineup of some great games. Like, what's the next one on your list there, buddy?
Oh yeah, for sure. Another game also that like I was like really I didn't expect it to. I knew probably would have liked it, but not for it to be in my top five. And that's UFC 4. I'm a
Oh,
UFC fan, so I gather with the family to watch all the pay-per-views and stuff like that. And the games are always fun, but there's something about this one that it did get a bit of hate on it for some reason. I've had to talk to some people who they didn't like it as much, but I was just addicted to this game. As you can see here, they added a new backyard fighting mode, so you can fight in your backyard. They have like a stand and bang mode, which is straight up punches and kicks, no grappling or anything like that. Super fun game to just jump in. It's one of those games I appreciate that you can just pick up, play for a bit, and drop it. You can pick it up, play for a bit, and drop it. You're not roped into finishing a gigantic side quest or anything like that. One thing that stood out to me was the soundtrack on this game is killer, man. Like as a fan of like rap and hip hop, they got some big names on there. They got like even some British grime rap. They got like Skepta, Stormzy, Hetty,
wow.
Eminem, Wiz Khalifa, like some big names on there, and some
Wow.
tracks that I added. I was like, damn, I gotta add this to my
Oh, this is
playlist.
awesome, man.
Yeah, yeah. And the create a fighter mode is back and better than ever. Super fun to just create your guy. I had so much fun like making my guy badass with a bunch of tattoos. It made him a striker. And you can really tune your fighter to the style of gameplay you want as well. So if you want more of a striker, a
Let me
stand-up
ask you a
guy.
question. Can you play like a Conor McGregor or any of that? Can you play that?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. In the creative fighter mode, in your career mode, you're actually fighting against those guys depending on your weight class. So if you
Nice.
create a guy in like welterweight, you're going to be fighting welterweight champions and contenders as well. And the way the game works is actually cool. You start off in like amateur fight, and then you go up to the World Fighting Alliance (WFA), and you can either choose to be put into the UFC earlier, which in turn earns you more money as your career goes on, or you can choose to stay in the WFA and get your rep up. So when you enter the UFC, you're a higher rank, so you have a better, a faster opportunity at a belt shot.
No,
So
for
it's super
sure.
cool. It makes me want to jump back in. I want to create another fighter, one who's a grappler this time, so I can get a different feel of it. The online is super fun with there's like a championship mode, ranked mode where you fight 3 fights in a row to see if you get the title, and then if you win the title, you can defend it online. So fun. And then there's a blitz battle mode, which is like 5 rounds, 1 round only, and then the winner goes on. So it's like cutthroat, just super fast paced, a lot
Nice.
of fun, and a lot of stuff to do in this UFC game.
What
Man, highly
what
recommend you check it out.
what I love about that, I mean, just the graphic here. I'll show this one again. Is I mean, this feels almost like a Fight Club type game too. It doesn't just feel like that backyard mode looks awesome. But
Yeah, I know. Honestly, it's super fun. They even have this like Kumite mode, just like underground. There's like fire around just to add like a more fun type of thing to do.
nice.
It's cool, a really cool game. I appreciate it. A lot of fun.
For sure, for sure. Now for this next game, I mean, this is a classic in many ways, but they've definitely redone this in other ways. So, if you want to talk a little bit about it, I'll bring up the image. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah, for sure. Next up on the list is a game that I so much loved near this year, and I'm a fan of the series as well. More recently, and that's Doom Eternal. This game came out in March, I believe. Yeah, early March, right before the pandemic started. So this was like my fuel, as well as another game coming up. I'll talk about to play during quarantine. And man, let me just tell you, Doom Eternal. they took everything great with Doom 2016 and ran with it. You get like these amazing hellscapes, as you can see from the concept art, like the design of the demons and the monsters. Like this is a marauder that you fight in the game. Super fun game, super in just it's just so pretty to look at. Even though the things you're looking at are super scary and gory, it's very well done.
Yeah.
And for the first time, they've actually added angels into the game. So you
Wow.
know Doom as the demon fighting game, but now they've have an angel type monster, which is really cool. And yeah, the gameplay is what really shines here because it's one of those games where it's just bare bones, blood and guts, gore, killing at its best. The executions in the game are phenomenal. You get to like tear jaws apart, rip swords through people's skulls and stuff, like tear them in half, beat them with their own limbs. Like it's so wild, such a fun ride. And it's definitely as much as it sounds like a mindless, oh, you just jump in and you're blindly shooting. It is not like that at all. Any fan of Doom will know that this game keeps you on your toes more than any other shooter I've played in the longest.
Even the
Especially,
classic PC versions from back in the day, they always kept you on your toes. I mean, I think that's what everyone loves about Doom is that they know how to like keep you on your feet throughout the game. You definitely don't want to let go of that gamepad when you're playing, right? It's like you just
oh
want
my
to
god,
go
yeah,
with it until the end. So, and I mean that's
literally.
pretty awesome. I mean, I have to admit, I love the list so far. And I'm gonna cut to the next game because this is like an exact opposite in many ways.
Yeah, for sure. This is a
I
big
guess
contrast.
to me it looks like a child's game. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, I know. I honestly, again, I said there was a lot of surprises in this list, and I was surprised with this one, and that's Animal Crossing. Oh my God, did I have fun with this game? I have nostalgic memories with this game, and I've only played it for the first time in March. And fun fact, this and Doom Eternal came out on the same day. So it's just a fun little fact that they share that bond forever, that they came out on the same day, and there were so many memes on the internet and stuff. And oh my God, but yeah, this game is just super addicting. It seems like a kiddish game, and I was kind of judging it off the bat. I've never really played an Animal Crossing game before, but when I got this one, I popped it in the system and I was hooked. I created my guy. You get venture off to your own island, and you're basically trying to create your own little village on this island. And the game works by you're steadily like building houses and structures to invite other villagers, which there are over. Guess how many villagers you think are in the game
Now,
that you can invite your island?
I don't know, like
There's
50.
there's over 350 villagers that you can acquire in this game, 10 of which can come live on your island. And it's honestly sometimes it's a rat race to try and cycling through islands to get one that you like, and then there's like one of them that looks kind of weird, so you don't want him to live on your island, so you just skip past him. It's just so it's
There's
just
always
so
that one
fun.
weirdo, right? Like,
Yeah, there's always the weird guy. Beryl, if you know what I mean, is always the weird one. But there's just so many amazing aspects to this game. There's always something to do. There's like, gardening, decorating your house, fishing, catching bugs. It's crazy because it sounds like menial activities, but Nintendo really killed it with this one, and they know just the formula that makes you want to come back, makes you want to dress up your character 10 times in one play session, makes you want to redecorate your house every time you go into it. It's just super fun, super addicting. And the great thing about it is they always keep it fresh. So there's new updates. They just added like swimming, deep sea diving, and an art gallery so you can buy paintings and stuff. There's a museum,
wow.
of course, where you can fill it with bugs and fish, but now they've added art.
It's weird because it feels to me like a Sims game in some ways, but then in another way, it feels like there was a free game a couple of years ago called Everything, that was a little odd and also kind of a fun game, but it was literally it's an insane fun kind of like build your own little world type of thing, and it got a little out there. I mean, this feels like definitely more Nintendo-ish, but it feels like a combination of things. I don't know where to put it really in
For
that
sure.
category of
There's
things. So
there's so many aspects to it, and another great thing is that each villager has their own little personality and their own like mannerisms and stuff. So you would just be walking around in the world doing your own thing, and you'll see two of your villagers arguing, and you got to go calm them down, or you'll see one of them like working out. It's just so funny, and it's literally its own little world. And I think it came out at the right time because it is one of I think it broke into the top 50 best-selling games of all time, and it's
oh, wow.
definitely one of Nintendo's best-selling games of all time, which is crazy. The amount
Well,
of
yeah,
units this
apparently
thing has
Nintendo
sold.
this year did extremely well, more than other years in sales. So I mean, Animal Crossing:
Yeah,
A Hero is
Animal
definitely a game
Crossing
that did
is
it. So
the reason for that. Yeah, super fun game, highly addictive. And if you're looking at it and you're like, oh, it seems kind of kiddish, whatever, I'm telling you, jump into it. There's something about it that'll just keep getting you back. And I can't wait for fall and winter to see what cool Halloween and Christmas items they bring into the game. So I'm ready for
well,
these
no,
updates.
definitely Nintendo's always got us ready for something new and definitely something amazing. And so that brings me to this next one here. Another great game. I've heard some crazy things about this game, but and I don't even know how to pronounce this game properly. So I'm gonna allow
Oh
you to
yeah,
do it, and you
for
give us the
sure.
intro. But
So this next game is a PS4 exclusive, which, as you know, Sony somehow has got that formula down. They know what they're doing, and they come out with some killer first-party titles. And this one, titled Ghosts of Tsushima, is just another great, amazing game. To be honest, I saw this game, I think at E3 last year or something like that when it debuted, and I looked at it, I was like, oh, that looks sick. I'll see if I'm going to pick it up, whatever. Picked it up day one, and let me tell you, I strongly believe that this is Game of the Year.
wow.
I say that because I know Cyberpunk is not in the running just because of the date that it comes out. I think it's just lost the cutoff. But oh man, just look at how beautiful the scenery is in this game. This is one of the most beautiful looking like scenic atmospheric games I've seen in the longest. Like there's some, to be honest, there's like some little fine details and cutscenes like fingernails and hair and like that look a bit awkward. But man, and these are all in-game photos too. That's the thing. Like this is what the game looks like. This is not a cutscene image or anything. This is truly a moment in the game. Actually, this picture right here is your main character creating a haiku, which for those of you who don't know, a haiku is a short Japanese poem, usually broken up into syllables 5, 7, 5. And there's just little things put into the game like that. Like there's an amazing story, a lot of different tales, as they call it, to complete, which are like big overarching side quests.
Nice.
But there's small things like this, like fox dens that you follow animals and you find collectibles. There's things like the haikus, the poems that you get to sit down, observe the atmosphere, and then you find different lines in the world and you create your own haiku, and it usually gives you a headband or something like that. Just like little finesse touches like that really go a long way in making this game what it is. And a lot of fun facts about this game. First one is that there's no mini map or anything like that, and like on the screen you have to follow the wind to see where your next objective is. So that may sound kind of daunting or whatever, but you just swipe up on that PS4 touchpad, and the wind will like visibly blow in a direction, and that is where your next objective is. I thought that was so creative, so cool to put in a game like this.
And let me ask you a question with regards to the game. Is it because it's weird? I've asked a few people different. Everyone gives me a bit of a different answer. Some people tell me it's more of like a linear game, and other people tell me there's an open world aspect to it. So, how would you best describe the game in terms of the gameplay of it? It seems like it's a third person in that sense, but is there any other unique aspects of this game that you can really touch on? Because I think I do agree. It looks like a game of the year type game. So I
For
mean, definitely want
sure.
to hear more about that.
Yeah, it definitely is a more open world style game. So you're not restricted in any way. Of course, in the beginning, like every game, there's some areas that you can't reach until you beat a certain part of a story. But the island of Tsushima that is being invaded by the Mongols, again, this is taken from history, which is interesting. This is not like a person taken from real life, but it's based in real history, and it's really cool. You're trying to save this island, your home that's been taken from you, and your samurai clan has been disbanded. your uncle has been taken hostage, and your job is now to go and kind of reunite and unify the island, get all these strong characters. You're getting a character, a Ronin samurai character, you're getting an archer, all these cool parts to this team that you're building to go and fight back and take your island. So you are like invested in the story. It's a lot of fun, and what really really shines aside from the atmospheric elements in the game, which are so stunning, I cannot say enough, is the gameplay. The combat system in this game is phenomenal, and it's one that I haven't seen this polished in the longest. There's four different stances, and as you work your way through the game and unlock different abilities and things like that, you open up different stances, and you also build your legend, which is cool. So as you help more people and do side quests, there's a legend meter to see. Like first you start off as the broken samurai, then I think you're like the wandering warrior or something, and you're trying to build your legend up all the way to being a samurai again, a full-blown samurai, I think the ghost or whatever. And there's different ways to play it as well. So there's like to play more as the ghost, you're assassinating people, which is against, samurai culture. It's against honor. So your character will actually feel guilt for playing in the shadows and stabbing people from behind. You'll have cutscenes that reminisce, and you'll see his dad telling him like, only cowards strike from the shadows. Just minor things like that. Just make it a living, breathing world. And I really appreciate the game for that. Yeah. But back to the combat stances. There's four different stances. I believe it's water or stone, water, wind, and moon, and they're each obviously you're holding the sword in a different way, your body posture in a different way, and they're vulnerable or more strong against certain enemy types. So, for example, the stone stance is better against swordsmen. The moon stance is stronger against like brutes, stuff like that. So it really, again, just like Doom, keeps you on your toes and really is thinking like, okay, I got to switch this stance to parry this and like attack this guy, and it's just super fun. It's so rewarding when you beat like a giant wave of enemies, and you literally step up to a group of enemies and you can call them out in samurai style and have a standoff. And then when you kill that guy, they all start charging you. So it's defense mode. You're blocking, you're attacking. It's just like a dance. It's crazy, super amazing. And one more great thing about this game is that there's actually the option to, you can play it in English and Japanese as well, but there is this like samurai film grain mode that you can choose to play through as well. I believe the director's name is Kurosawa. Sorry if I butchered that, but he makes samurai films, and in the same vein, there's a Kurosawa mode that is black and white and has that film grain aesthetic, and it really feels like you're playing a samurai film. So it's just all these little nuances and touches that they add to the game.
Yeah, no, for sure. It
that really adds to it.
It sounds like an awesome game mode for sure. And what game would you compare this to? I mean, to me, it sounds like, because I've seen some images just like this, but I haven't actually played the game myself. Does it feel like the kind of the unmade Assassins game, or is it like a completely different game, would you say?
That's a great comparison. To be honest, when I was playing it, I did draw some parallels between like, the new style of Assassin's Creed. So like Odyssey and Origins, there's definitely some similarities. It's that type of game for sure. And easily in that caliber, because Odyssey is amazing game, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And so is Ghost of Tsushima. Super fun. A lot of great things to do in that game. It is, it does, of course, have its faults. It can be a bit buggy at some points with, like characters being stuck in a place or something like that. But every game has its flaws. Definitely, it does not take you away from how amazing this game is. And there's a reason why I put it at the top of my list.
Nice, for sure. And so here's another game I'm going to get into, but I'll say this one. I'll announce this one because I love the movies personally. But Predator, I mean, this was a great franchise and a new game, and it's got a subtitle, correct?
Yeah. So this is more of like my honorable mentions. I got a couple honorable mentions for you guys here that didn't quite make my best games, but as a Predator fan, as you can see here, I got like the ring, the Jason and Predator ring on my hands at all times. I'm a huge Predator fan, and this game is like really puts you in the shoes of the Predator. So it's called Predator Hunting Grounds, and it's a Friday the 13th style game where One person is the Predator, and then I believe there's 4 Marines or like soldiers. And I played it for a bit. I definitely need to get more into it because just a big Predator guy. It's really fun. It didn't get the best reviews, as you know, these types of games you sadly don't get the best reviews. But it was just something
Does
about it
it
was
feel like
so
an
fun.
Aliens versus Predator game, or is it nothing like that?
No, this one is more on. It's just strictly online, and like a combat style game. If I remember correctly, the Alien vs Predator did have online, but it was a campaign as well, right?
Yeah, I know some people hate that game personally. So I mean, that's
Yeah, I know. Sadly, Predator hasn't been. I think the coolest thing he's done game wise is be a guest character in Mortal Kombat X. But in this game, honestly, he gets his time to shine. Like you get all his abilities, his shoulder cannon, his saw blade, his gauntlet, and like the one gripe with the game that a lot of people did agree with is that the only thing is the Predator sometimes does feel a bit weak. Like you shouldn't feel like I get he's more stealthy, but when you jump down and try to face the enemy and he like lights you up with bullets, you have to like run and hide right away. It kind of is like, okay, that doesn't really feel too much like Predator. I feel like I could like face this guy one on one, you know? So there's minor things like that that like stopped it from being its full potential. But honestly, it is a super fun game. It's cool to be the Predator and step into the Predator's shoes, as well as be the Marines and try and kill the Predator, you know?
yeah. To me,
So definitely honorable mention for sure.
just from the images, it feels kind of like they're trying to take it back almost to like the original Predator movie with Schwarzenegger back in the day. So I
Yeah,
think
that jungle
that's how I
hunter
feel
type.
already just from seeing it. And I mean, I think there's people that wanted it probably to feel, how would it feel if I were Schwarzenegger having to hunt the Predator myself? And so, I mean, it feels like it's definitely got that, like you said, the Friday the 13th feel to it. I mean, I'm down. I'm pretty interested in that one actually, and I
Yeah,
think
for
it'll be a
sure.
pretty good game. So, and then
Yeah, honestly, I recommend you check it out. It's super cool.
yeah, this is kind of your last honorable mention here, but one we all love. I love this franchise.
I gotta do it, man. I gotta do it. Call of Duty Warzone. Now I understand. Call of Duty came out. It didn't come out in 2020. It came out in 2019, like the end of the year, as all the Call of Duty games do. But Warzone didn't come out, I think, until March, I believe. So there you go. But man, I haven't jumped into and enjoyed a Call of Duty this much, I think, since like Black Ops 2. And there's just something about this game that keeps me coming back to it. Warzone was honestly the best it's been. Like this is in terms of battle royale, this is my favorite battle royale without a doubt. Fortnite never really did it for me. I wasn't a fan of like the building and stuff like that. I didn't get too much into Apex, even though Apex is still a great game. And the blackout mode in Black Ops, I wasn't really on as well. But this one is just jumping on with the boys, with the gang, is just so fun to play, and it creates those memories, and it just has that nostalgic like Xbox Live feeling of like playing that shooter online with all your buddies, and it's just so fun. They did such a great job with the way you unlock different weapon skins and weapon camos. They have challenges for you to do, so it keeps the online gameplay fresh.
do they have a zombie mode in this one or no?
No, sadly not. Zombies is strictly a Black Ops thing. But with Black Ops Cold War being the newest Call of Duty to come out later this year, that's been recently announced, they should have zombies mode in that. So stay tuned for that one if you're a zombies guy.
No, for sure, for sure. I mean, that's
Yeah,
a great
but
lineup.
man,
I do also want to mention. I mean, one lineup. Definitely, Cyberpunk is going to be a huge game whenever that comes out.
oh man,
Yeah,
Cyberpunk is going to
we've spoken
be the
about
game
that
of the
one before.
generation.
And we've definitely mentioned that one before on our other episode. But there's a lot of great games. These are some awesome games that are out for 2020 this year. Definitely top games. Cyberpunk hasn't come out yet, so I can't wait till that one's
Oh yeah, for
coming out.
sure.
But this Ghost of Tsushima game looks amazing. I mean,
Definitely. And
I
these
definitely want to
were
check that out. And a lot of these games. I mean, the Doom. I'm always a fan of Doom. The Call
oh
of
man,
Duty.
yeah,
I've
Doom.
played.
The soundtrack in Doom too, I forgot to mention, is so good. Like I'm not a metal fan,
Yeah,
but that game just has a banging soundtrack. Like when I'm hearing it and you're like in it, I just want to like cuss at my mom and break stuff, you know? Like it
yeah.
has that like crazy, like
So
heavy metal
it
vibe to
doesn't
it.
feel like the Dwayne Johnson movie, right? Like it feels like a real Doom game.
Oh man, no, it's crazy, even crazier than the Dwayne Johnson movie.
Yeah,
It's
that was
insane. Such a good game.
questionable, right? That was definitely a questionable movie.
Yeah. Oh
But
man.
no, for sure. I mean, this looks awesome, man. I'm glad you were able to put these highlighted games up, because I mean, they look amazing. I mean, and I can't wait to play some of these myself. And they just look like they're pumping out more, like, just better quality games year after year after year. And the fact that VR is out now for a while, and all these other,
Oh yeah.
other, like, even mobile games. I mean, there's so many great games out there worth trying. We
Definitely,
should
and
definitely
even
do it.
from Call of Duty has a mobile game. They have
Yeah.
a free to play Call of Duty mobile, which you can even play Warzone, and a lot of people are in love with that as well, and they advertise that all the time. So mobile games are really stepping it up, especially with XCloud. I'm sure we'll cover that more in depth in a future episode. But XCloud is like Xbox's streaming service where you can play your favorite Xbox games on your phone. So you can play Forza, Gears of War, and I've tested this. It's actually amazing and groundbreaking that to
Wow.
play these games on your phone. But yeah, it streams it to your phone and you're able to play that stuff on the go. So it's crazy. That gaming is definitely at an interesting time where there's a lot of things changing, a lot of things being created, and technology is at that time where it's just obviously the best it's been. So we're going to be getting top tier stuff
Oh,
coming
for
out,
sure,
especially
for
with the
sure.
next gen.
And I mean, that's the thing. We should definitely do an episode on mobile games as well. I mean, I think that we're going to do that soon. There's so much
Yeah, for
out there
sure.
for sure. But listen, man, thank you for having me on the show again today. You covered some great stuff, and looking forward for another great episode with you coming up soon. So, all
Hey,
right.
thanks, man. Appreciate it. Glad you're able to make it out to another great episode of Game Changers. For you guys watching at home, make sure you click that subscribe button to the Heroes Manufactured page. And if you're looking to follow me on my social media, it's at Adam_Swagasaurus on Instagram. That's my most active social media if you want to follow me on that. And yeah, we're going to be creating some new dope episodes for you guys coming soon. So stay tuned. Thanks for joining us today, and take it easy.
All right, guys, take it easy. Thanks, Addy. Peace.
Yeah, peace, man.